Hey Crushers, Young here, bringing you another video in our Heroes Magnified series sponsored by Godzy Lab. This video will be featuring Vlad. As a reminder, my personal Discord server is open to the public. The link is in the description below this video. We are also still needing additional feedback
There's an
regarding what
update.
heroes to feature next. We'd
Alright.
had Vlad slated for this spot, but we don't know who to cover after this. Leave a comment below on who you'd like to see. Now, in terms of important heroes, it is hard to argue that any is more important than Vlad. Often considered the endgame healer, Vlad brings a variety of strong abilities to the table. To start with, he's a flying support hero. He has a special feature called Lifesteal that allows him to heal more based on the damage that he deals. He has a 2-star ability called Bloodlust, which is used to heal random friendly units, and a 4-star ability that debuffs enemy attack speed, directly countering attack speed per second of the entire enemy team. At 7 stars, this is a 40% reduction, which is huge. We'll discuss the tier ranks in a moment, but I will stress that you have to look at the combination of all of his abilities, the DPS, the healing, the debuff, because it is all of it combined that makes him so great. On top of all those factors, he's also a flyer, meaning he is blatantly avoiding most AoE in the game, with few exceptions. Thorn can still reach him in most circumstances, but more common AoE attackers, including AoE smashers, Aqua, Spark, and Atlantis, don't touch him with their normal
All
AoE
day today.
attacks,
It's been
making it
all day
very
like the
easy for
past
him
few
to stay
days.
alive without very much HP in his runes. Vlad is ranked as an S-tier hero by PK3 and Medivh, with a medium to hard gradient. This rating is largely due to the expensive price involved in maxing him, and then the runes that he needs to be effective. I would also rank him as S-tier and agree with the medium to hard gradient rating as well, because it is quite a journey to get Vlad. I've said before maxing Vlad is the necessary evil that all players have to do at some point, and I stand by that sentiment. If you're interested in my own journey of maxing Vlad, I did a massive chest opening video a while back where I maxed him. I highly recommend it if you're interested in chest opening videos, as it is really entertaining. I've included a link for that and a previous, though smaller, Vlad chest opening video in the description below this video. Now, in terms of builds, Mr. Moogle has shown several solid builds for Vlad, but the two best are DRP and DSP, so that's damage, rage, and precise, as well as damage, swift, and precise. Attack per second primaries are highly recommended, with first secondaries being attack, critical damage, attack range, and HP would be solid. Attack range is ultimately not as important for Vlad as it is some other heroes, but it does still matter when all is said and done, so if you can add some, then you should. Now, Vlad is the endgame healer, leaving other options in the dust. His healing capabilities eclipse the other existing options, Paladin, Merlinus, and Healerbot. His 2-star ability, Bloodlust, says that it heals a random hero of yours. However, Mr. Moogle has said that in practice, it appears to be the lowest HP heroes. He also said it is worth noting that Bloodlust attack is 3 attacks at 1.65 times damage, so he can heal multiple people or they can all go to one hero. And each attack can crit, and that increases his healing. Now, it is worth noting that healing scales and grows stronger as Vlad's damage increases. This lends to why it is so important to get a high DPS build with attack per second primaries and as much attack as you possibly can. Even though it can't be used in PvP modes, Vlad's 3-star ability is also great at healing when doing his ultimate attack. For the most part, though, it should not be relied on except for the case of some hitters during guild raid events whose crusher is getting low on health, as it can bring them back to full health in most cases. This is helpful when buffs are lower, but you're still killing, meaning it is harder to survive a times 3 attack. Now, I'd mentioned this earlier in the video, Vlad's 4-star ability, but I really can't stress enough how vitally important this ability is for so many different things. In PvP, this directly nerfs the enemy attack per second, dramatically lowering their DPS. To explain simply, a 7-star Vlad offers a 40% debuff to enemy attack speed. So, if, without Vlad, your opponent would hit you 10 times, now with Vlad, they'll only hit you 6 times in the same amount of time. That is massive in your favor and lends to why Vlad is so important to focus on for all players. This exact ability is shared with only one other hero, and that's Kasume. Generally speaking, for Guild Wars, you'll want Vlad in your fort and Kasume in your castle, or vice versa. Do not put them into one, and do not use them both offensively in the same attacks. Because the debuffs are really important for helping your tanks survive, it's important that you spread them out a little bit. As a reminder, these 4-star abilities stay in effect for the duration of the fight. So even if your Vlad or Kasume die, they're still debuffing enemy attack per second. Now, when considering priority in regards to flu spending, it is generally considered good advice to save as much excess flus as possible and spend that on maxing Vlad. Blitz heroes are quite expensive to max. From 0 stars to max, it costs an average of 48,720 flus, and a maximum of 58,440 flus. It is no small endeavor to max a Blitz hero, but ultimately, there's no better hero to invest in than Vlad. The next in priority after you max Vlad would be Namada. She was featured in our previous Heroes Magnified video, and I'll drop a link for that in the description below this video in case you want to check her out. I wouldn't recommend spending more than tier 2 on most Crusher chests, and I wouldn't recommend spending flus on any Blitz hero except Vlad until you have him maxed. Once you've maxed him, then focusing hard on another hero like Namada is typically a good idea. Here is a screenshot from Laroc's CTA bot that shows the average cost to max a Blitz hero from 0 stars. A link to the CTA bot is in the description below this video in case you need that for your guild. Now, before I conclude today's video, I wanted to give you guys some updates on stuff I've got going on personally. We just celebrated the 1-year birthday of my son. He's in the beginning stages of walking, and we hope he'll take his first steps sometime soon. My professional career has been quite busy lately, and I have found that I've had less time than before to work on making these videos. However, I have been taking steps to ensure that I allocate the time to still make them, and improve the quality of the videos on this channel. I hope that you guys have noticed the improvement of both audio and video. These are things that the team and I are going to continue to work on to improve for you guys. I've also worked on improving the Patreon page. If anyone is interested in becoming a patron, the financial support would absolutely be appreciated, and I directly use contributions towards things like chest opening videos. If you haven't already seen the contributor buttons, this is what they look like. They're for higher end contributors as a thank you for the support. I'm also very open to receiving feedback. If you have feedback regarding these videos, this channel, or even something game related, then I'd love to hear from you. If you could reach out to me through the Discord, the comment section below, or in game, that would be very much appreciated. And then finally, as another reminder, we're taking the final votes for the next Heroes Magnified videos. If you could take a couple seconds and just drop a comment below on what hero you'd like to see featured next, I'll do my best to add them to the list. Now, as I properly conclude today's video, I'd like to give special acknowledgement to Medivh for making the thumbnail for today's video. I'd like to thank the Discord users who helped contribute to this video. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Moogle, Flocky, Medivh, PK3, Laroc, and I would also like to give a special shout out to Smilebone. So thanks for supporting this channel. I would like to thank those of you who are interested in donating to this channel. The link for my Patreon is linked in the description below. And finally, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who take the time to make it this far into each of my videos. Your continued support is the reason I do this. Thanks for watching.